The ocean is deeper than our fears, darker than our imagination, and older than any myth. For thousands of years, sailors have returned with stories, some of gods, others of monsters that should not exist. From shape-shifting demons to serpents big enough to swallow ships whole. Tonight, we dive into the 10 most terrifying sea creatures ever imagined. Before we begin, tell me, where are you watching from, and what time is it for you? Number 10. Capricorn, the sea goat of the stars. We begin our countdown with a creature you might recognize from the zodiac, the Capricorn. But behind the calm symbol of ambition lies an ancient myth born from fear and fascination with the sea. In Babylonian legend, Capricorn was known as Enki, the god of wisdom and water, often depicted as a hybrid half-goat, half-fish. His goat half could climb the highest mountains, while his fishtail swam through the deepest oceans. Together, they symbolize the balance between earth and water, between chaos and order. But not all depictions were peaceful. In later Greek tales, Capricorn was the form that the god Pan took when fleeing the monster Typhon. As he leaped into the Nile, his lower body transformed into a fish to escape. Some sailors believed that sighting the sea goat meant a storm was coming, Capricorn rising from the deep to warn of disaster. It's strange to think of such a graceful creature bringing destruction. But the ocean doesn't care for beauty, it hides terror beneath calm waves. And the next legend on our list, it's said to live in the Caribbean, where it waits for ships to drift too close to the deep blue void. Number 9. Lesca, the monster of the blue holes. The tropical waters of the Bahamas. There are mysterious underwater caves known as blue holes, dark circular pits that seem to have no bottom. Locals believe these holes are home to a deadly creature called the Lesca, part octopus, part shark, and part nightmare. The Lesca is said to be over 100 feet long. Divers who have explored the blue holes report feeling sudden, violent currents, as if something massive was pulling the water down. Those who vanish near these spots are said to have been taken by the Lesca. Fishermen tell stories of it attacking boats, dragging entire vessels below without a trace. In some tales, its tentacles reach from the depths to snatch victims from docks and beaches. Even modern sightings continue: giant shadows under boats, bubbles rising from nowhere, and eerie sounds echoing from below. Scientists say these currents are natural, caused by pressure changes between the sea and the underground caves. But locals aren't convinced. They say the Lesca guards the passage between this world and another, where lost ships and souls drift forever. And if you think that's frightening, the next creature is worshipped, feared, and said to rule over the very spirits of the sea itself. Number Taniwa, the guardian and the monster to the Ambori of New Zealand. The ocean is alive, and its protector or destroyer is the Taniwa. These beings are described as massive serpent-like dragons living in deep rivers, dark caves, or beneath treacherous waters. Some Taniwa are guardians who protect tribes and guide canoes safely through the waves. Others are vengeful, dragging people into whirlpools or crushing boats that disrespect their territory. Each tribe tells a different story. Some Taniwa resemble giant eels or whales, while others have scaled bodies and fiery eyes. The common belief is that they are ancient spirits, able to shape the land, summon storms, and sense when humans disturb sacred waters. Even in modern times, construction projects in New Zealand have been delayed because of claimed Taniwa sightings. Elders warn that to ignore the creature's presence is to invite disaster. It's fascinating how one being can be both protector and destroyer, depending on who you are. But the next name on our list belongs to something far larger, so enormous. Number 7. Bahamut, the giant that holds the world in Arabian mythology. Bahamut isn't just a sea creature, it's a cosmic being. The legends describe it as a massive fish or whale, so vast that all the oceans rest on its back. Some versions say the entire world stands upon a bull, which stands upon Bahamut, who floats in a sea of mystery beyond imagination. No one can comprehend Bahamut's full form. Its head alone is said to be so large that no human, angel, or demon can measure its size. It swims in the dark waters beneath creation, supporting the weight of reality itself. Later, Islamic and Jewish mystics described Bahamut as a symbol of the unknowable depth of the universe, the endless sea that holds existence together. But sailors told it differently. They believed that when Bahamut moves, earthquakes happen. When it breathes, the tides rise and fall. If this myth has any truth, Bahamut isn't a creature, it's a force. A reminder that beneath the calm surface of the ocean lies and far older than time. And while Bahamut holds the world in silence, the next creatures on our list move among ooze shapeshifters who can appear human by day and vanish into the waves by night. Number 6. Finfolk, the takers of the sea far to the north, off the coast of Scotland and the Orkney Islands. There are tales of mysterious beings known as the Finfolk. Unlike mermaids or mermen, they are not beautiful or kind. They are ancient, cunning, and obsessed with one thing: stealing humans. According to the old stories, the Finfolk live in a shimmering underwater realm called Finfolkahim, a palace made of silver and coral deep beneath the sea. They can transform into humans whenever they wish, walking unnoticed among coastal villages. But if they find a human they desire, they will kidnap them, drag them below, and make them their eternal spouse. Men who resisted were never seen again. Women taken by Finman male Finfolk were said to appear years later, staring out to sea, as if still hearing their captor's voice. The only way to ward them off, locals claimed, was with silver. The Finfolk despised it and would vanish if it was thrown into the water. Some say these stories were made to warn villagers against straying too far from shore. Others believe they were inspired by real encounters, mysterious figures seen walking out of the surf, glistening under moonlight. But whether real or myth, one thing is clear: the Finfolk are not to be trusted so far. We've uncovered beings that guard, deceive, and devour. But the next 5 will take you deeper to where the ocean turns black and the line between God and monster disappears. From ancient serpent kings to the legendary Kraken itself, Part 2 will reveal the true rulers of the deep. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and press the bell icon. And before we go, tell me, where are you watching from? And what time is it for you? Number 5. Oannes, the messenger from the deep end, the oldest records of Mesopotamia. Before any known religion had taken shape, the Babylonians wrote of a creature that rose from the Persian Gulf every morning. His name was Oannes. They described him as half man, half fish, his body covered in shimmering scales, his head human, but wrapped in the form of a great sea creature. Unlike most monsters, Oannes did not bring death. He brought knowledge, according to the ancient texts. Oannes emerged from the sea to teach humanity language, mathematics, agriculture, and law. When the sun set, he would return to the ocean, disappearing beneath the waves until dawn. Some modern researchers link Oannes to the later stories of gods like Enki or diving beings of water and wisdom. Others wonder if these ancient people saw something real, a humanoid from the depths, perhaps an early echo of alien contact. Whatever the truth, Oannes represents something unsettling: the idea that the ocean might hold not just monsters, but teachers, creatures that existed long before us and still watch, waiting for the right moment to return. And if Oannes brought knowledge from the sea, the next creature on our list brings only death. Number 4. Eachwish, the killer of the Loch, Scotland, is home to many eerie waters, but none are as feared as those haunted by the Eachwish, the water horse. Unlike the Kelpie from earlier tales, this monster doesn't just drown its victims, devours them. The Eachwish often appears as a handsome horse near lakes or coastal inlets. It tempts travelers to mount it. The moment they do, its skin turns slick as oil, trapping them in place. Then it charges into the water, disappearing beneath the surface. When the creature resurfaces, only the liver of the victim floats to shore. Locals took this as a grim signature, the calling card of the Eachwish. Some stories say it can also take human form, walking among villages as a stranger, with seaweed tangled in its hair and water dripping from its clothes. If you notice that detail, run. Once it marks you, there is no escape. Fishermen along the Scottish Highlands still whisper that certain lochs remain cursed, that ripples can appear without wind, and that eyes sometimes glimmer just below the surface. Whether spirit, demon, or something else entirely, the Eachwish reminds us that not all horses run on land. But while this creature preys on humans, the next one rules entire worlds. Number 3. Nija, the serpent kings of the deep across South and Southeast Asia. The oceans and rivers are said to belong to the Nga's divine serpent beings who dwell in vast underwater palaces made of jewels and light. In Hindu and Buddhist mythology, Nga's are both protectors and destroyers. They can bless the land with rain and fertility, or curse it with floods and droughts. Some appear as gigantic cobras with multiple heads, others as humans with the eyes of snakes and voices that echo like thunder underwater. Legends tell of the Enja king, Vasuki, who once wrapped his massive body around Mount Mandara so the gods could churn the ocean of milk and create the elixir of immortality. His strength kept the cosmos turning. But the Engies are not to be angered. They guard sacred treasures and hidden passages between worlds. Fishermen in India and Thailand still offer prayers before setting sail, asking the Engies for mercy. A sudden whirlpool or strange ripple is often taken as a warning that one is near. Some temples even claim to house real Nega relics, massive scales, and bones found near rivers after storms. Scientists can't explain them, and the locals don't try. To them, the Engies are still very real, and the water remains their kingdom. But even their power fades before the song of what comes next, a sound that has lured sailors to their deaths for centuries. Number 2. Siren, the voice of death. No creature from the sea is more famous or more feared than the siren. Long before they were softened into the image of singing mermaids, the original sirens were winged sea spirits of Greek mythology, part woman, part bird, whose voices drove sailors mad. As the centuries passed, the image changed. They became beautiful women of the waves, combing their hair on jagged rocks, singing songs so enchanting that men leaped from their ships to reach them. None ever returned. The story of Odysseus tells how he had his men plug their ears with wax and tie him to the mast so he could hear their song and live to tell the tale. But not all sailors were so clever. Whole crews vanished. Ships found wrecked against reefs that seemed to appear from nowhere. Some historians believe these tales came from natural sounds, wind echoing through cliffs or whales calling in the distance. But others think the siren represents something deeper, the danger of desire, the irresistible call of the unknown. Even now, people report eerie melodies over calm seas, voices that seem to drift from nowhere. Maybe it's the wind, or maybe the sirens never left. And if you think their call is terrifying, wait until you meet the creature that inspired every sailor's nightmare, the true monarch of the deep. Number 1. Kraken. The terror of the deep-nosed sea monster is more legendary or more feared than the Kraken. First mentioned in 12th century Norse sagas, it was said to dwell off the coasts of Norway and Greenland, rising from the depths to drag ships and sailors to their doom. Eyewitnesses described a mountain of flesh rising from the ocean, surrounded by whirlpools and storms. Its tentacles could wrap around entire vessels, splintering wood like driftwood. Even whales, the kings of the sea, were said to flee from its path. When the Kraken surfaced, sailors claimed the water boiled and the air filled with a stench of decay. Some believed it was not an animal at all, but a living island. Ships that anchored upon it were crushed when it descended again into the abyss. Scientists later suggested that the myth came from sightings of giant squid-real creatures that can grow over 40 feet long. But in older tales, the Kraken was far larger, stretching miles across, its eye the size of a ship's mast. To this day, stories persist. In 1870, the crew of a French ship recorded seeing a tentacled beast in the South Atlantic. In 1930, another was spotted off the coast of Norway, leaving behind enormous, suction-shaped scars on a whale carcass. We may never know what truly lurks in the blackest trenches of the ocean, but every time a ship disappears without explanation, every time sonar picks up a shadow too large to identify, one thought comes to mind: the Kraken might still be waiting. From serpent kings and sea gods to shape-shifting demons and monstrous beasts, these legends remind us that the ocean is not just a body of water. It's a realm of ancient power. Which of these sea creatures do you think could be real? Tell me in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is for you. And don't forget to subscribe to the Hidden 10, because next time, we're going even deeper to uncover the most mysterious creatures said to live in the trenches of the earth itself.